The greatest fanfiction I've ever read is a BBC Sherlock fanfiction called The Quiet Man by Ivy Blossom. This fanfiction has two distinct parts. In part 1, John is trying to come to terms with Sherlock's death. Obviously, at the time, he doesn't know that Sherlock faked his death. The second part takes place after Sherlock's return and John dealing with all the emotions that come along with that. This story is the single greatest exploration of grief I have ever read, and that goes for fanfiction and traditionally published works. In part 1 of this fanfiction, John is very much in survival mode and trying to cope with his grief in the best way he possibly can. He's constantly retreating into his memories and having these conversations with Sherlock that he has never been able to have. And this imaginary Sherlock is constantly making commentary on his life as he goes about his day-to-day. He's always retreating into one memory in particular, and he acknowledges that it's preventing him from moving on. I don't know if you can tell, but I literally started crying just talking about this, so I'm just going to try to run through this pretty quickly. He decides he has to move on, so he retreats to that memory one last time and says goodbye. He tells this memory of Sherlock that he can't keep coming back here because it's stopping him from moving on with his life. And that scene broke me, and clearly still does, because I'm crying just talking about it, and I haven't read this in years. In the second part, John is dealing with a lot of conflicting feelings after Sherlock's return, because 1, he's still very much experienced his grief. 2, he has so much anger directed at Sherlock because of what he went through. And 3, he is in love with him. It's so relieved and feels so much love for him that he doesn't know what to do with all these feelings. Reading this fanfic almost makes me embarrassed for the writers of Sherlock, because a fan of the show was able to put more care towards exploring their character than they did. I could honestly talk about this story all day long. It is genuinely perfect. And I've read sad fanfics before, but that scene of John saying goodbye to Sherlock's memory for one last time, and Sherlock saying, "I'll still be here," it does something to me that I can't describe. Please read this.